Hello, Dancing with the Stars fans. I'm Gold Derby senior editor Daniel Montgomery here with contributors Jeffrey Kare and Cordell Martin to talk about the season 28 cast, which was announced as we're recording this. It's a day after, about a day and a half after they announced the official cast. So before we go into discussing that cast, let me go down the list one by one. You've got Mary Wilson from The Supremes, Kurama Brown from Queer Eye, Hannah Brown from The Bachelorette, Christy Brinkley, famous supermodel, of course, country singer Lauren Alaina, actor James Vanderbeek, football player Ray Lewis, The Office actress Kate Flannery, former Fifth Harmony singer Ally Brooke, NBA basketball player Lamar Odom, comedian and actor and musician Kel Mitchell, and former White House press secretary Sean Spicer.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with that last one because I kind of want to begin and end the discussion on Sean Spicer very quickly. I hope he gets eliminated very quickly. The problem is, unless there's an elimination on night one, we're going to have to see him dance and see clip packages at least twice. So, first of all, I mean, I think this is probably the first casting that even the host of the show, Tom Bergeron, had to publicly distance himself from because it's such a bad idea. So, start with you, Cordell. Do you think it's a bad idea or the worst idea?
Hopefully my granny isn't watching this, but I hope that he gets injured before the show even starts. I just don't understand why the producers would even go this route. I think in the past, it was cute to have like the Bristol Palins and Tom Delaney's and all of those cast of characters. But just with Trump and just all of the negativity and controversy that's come along with the administration, it would just be nice just for once for the audience to not have to be reminded of what is going on in DC. I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, he could be a very nice guy, but I'm already over it. I'm ready for him to go home and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my problem is that if he were a very nice guy, he wouldn't have done the job he did for several months.
That is
so
true.
So he's kind of disqualified from nice guy consideration for me. What did you think about his casting, Jeffrey?
Well, yeah, definitely surprising. I guess people would feel a lot better if it was just Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer.
Yes.
And
character, as like if they cast Melissa McCarthy and she only ever appeared in character as Sean Spicer, that would be that. Actually, I would sign up to see that immediately.
Yeah, and of course, even Tom Bergeron, well, like you said, is not a fan of this idea because even he mentioned, he really doesn't want people thinking about politics during the show. I mean, we'll see how much the backlash Sean Spicer's already received will affect how he does with viewers voting.
Yeah, I have a feeling he might get the kind of because we've seen right-leaning or full-out right-wing candidates go far. Even someone like Candace Bure, who's not overtly political, but she's very openly, devoutly Christian. She draws from that fan base. She made it farther than her dance skills would have allowed. Although she wasn't bad. She was actually a good dancer, but under normal circumstances, I think Candace Bure was more of a 5th or 6th place dancer, and she made it to the finals because she had that fan base carrying her along. Same thing with the Duck Dynasty daughter, Sadie Robertson. Although she was, I actually think her position in that top 3 was justified.
Yeah, I agree.
But it definitely helped her having that fan base. So but I hope that doesn't work here. I just think it's going to be so awkward. First of all, Tom Bergeron's going to have to stand next to him, having publicly disavowed his casting. Someone ran up on the stage to protest. Ryan Lochte. Ryan Lochte got a protest on Dancing.
Exactly.
And they decided to cast Sean Spicer. I feel like I hope if they protested Ryan Lochte, I hope someone rushes the stage to protest Sean Spicer, not to compromise the safety of anyone in the cast and crew, because that sort of like interruption and interference can be really, really disconcerting and probably scary for the judges and the hosts and everyone involved. So someone like peacefully protest, hold up signs and heckle or something while he's dancing, just because. And, I'm going to do live blogs, and I'm going to probably intersperse my comments about his cute little clip package with a giant fascist lie he told it's like, oh, by the way, he had trouble with the flicks and kicks. And, oh, remember how he said the Nazis didn't use chemical weapons? And, So, that said, I don't think any of us thinks under the best of circumstances, he'd win the show. Even in a post-Bobby Bones world, I do not think Sean Spicer could win the show.
Yeah.
I hope I see your face, Cordell, and it's scaring me.
After last year where Grocery Store Joe and Bobby Bones, I don't put anything past.
I would vote to bring Grocery Store Joe back to the show as a replacement for Sean Spicer.
Yes. That says a lot. That says a lot.
I'm sure a lot of people would rather see Bobby Bones or Grocery Store Joe back instead of Sean Spicer.
Oh, good. Maybe that's why they cast him, so they'd be like, see, it could have been worse, and now it is.
That publicity is good publicity.
There are 11 other potential dancers, and potential people who will be on the stage trying to dance. So let's start with not start with, because we started with Sean Spicer, but continue with who we're most excited to see, who we have the highest hopes for. I for one, think just from the Fifth Harmony connection, Normani made it to the finals. She finished third, but only because the voting was not in her favor. She danced well enough to win easily. But Ally Brooke, her former bandmate, is now a member of the cast. Not really surprised that they got another Fifth Harmony member since they got one in last a few seasons ago. So I think she's probably one to look at as a potential winner, finalist, at least going pretty far. And the other one, for some reason, I don't know why I have a good feeling about him, but I feel like Kurama Brown might have some skills.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, he's not like a ringer in the sense that like Adam Rippon was a ringer, because he, figure skater, does choreography on the ice. But I feel like he just has the energy, and if he can pick up the moves, he's going to have the charisma. I feel good about that. Who are you having high hopes for, Cordell?
Yes, I would echo, to your point, Karamo. I think Karamo just has the personality and the pizzazz to really break through amongst the pack. I'm a huge reality show buff, so I remember him from The Real World and other reality shows he's been on in the past. The thing about Karamo, sometimes he can be a little bit cocky. So if he can keep it cute and not, be too cocky, I think he will go really far and could possibly win. Ally from Fifth Harmony, I think, has a great shot. Granted, she wasn't the best dancer in the group. But for her, it's not like Normani where, she's this ringer where everyone's expecting her to be amazing out the gate. But then also she has a compelling story of being bullied and being teased for not being the best dancer in Fifth Harmony. So for her, that's a way for her to connect to the audience that maybe Normani wasn't able to do in her season. I would say look out for Kel Mitchell. I think next to Karamo, his charisma, I think he's going to just light up the dance floor, and also the nostalgia factor that a lot of people will root for him, and they're big fans of him on Kenan and Kel and all that. And then I would say look out for Lauren Alaina. Just due to her personality. She's also just has that bubbly, fun personality like a Bendy Irwin or Lori Hernandez that I think will take
Kelly Pickler too.
Yep, Kelly Pickler. Also the country fan base, as we know, those country stars, whether you're like the level Dolly Parton or just
Bobby
a
Bones.
newcomer. Exactly. Like, that will take you really far, and they're consistent and they're really loyal next to like Bachelor Nation, which brings me to the Bachelorette Anna. I think she is going to go far, just based on the whole Bachelor Nation supporting her. And I'm pretty sure she has dance experience, so they'll probably pair her with like Val or someone just to get her to those finals.
Well, if she's good or if she's terrible, we know based on Bachelor Nation, she'll make it to at least like 6th place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you looking forward to and have high hopes for, Jeffrey?
Well, I'm looking forward to Lauren Alaina. I remember her from the season of American Idol where she lost to Scotty McCreery, and yes, she's definitely the second American Idol finalist to be competing for the Mirabelle Trophy after Kelly Pickler won several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so it should be interesting to see how she does and it should definitely be interesting to see how Mary Wilson does, given her, I guess, years with the Supremes, and I imagine she'll end up performing at least one routine to a song by them. and I definitely echo Cordell's thoughts on Kel Mitchell, and who I should point out was in one of my casting polls last year, and of the 6 polls I've done at this point, he's the second to actually make it after Frankie Muniz 2 years ago. So apparently, I've really gotten eyed the former child stars.
I know.
And he did incredibly well, too, surprisingly
exactly.
well.
Yeah.
And that actually makes me think of, he wasn't a child star. He was already an adult when he broke out, although he was playing a teenager. But James Van Der Beek feels like someone who could be surprising. He's on the older end of like a Dancing with the Stars winner, like I believe he's in early 40s. But like he's fit, he's still popular, he's still working, he's probably currently the biggest star that's on this list of contestants. I can see him, if he has fun with it and if he's really game, like he really needs to embrace it as much as Frankie Muniz did, to really kind of draw people in. I think he could be surprising. I could imagine thinking, I was not expecting that, and he brought it, and that could be a story for the season, much like it was for Frankie. So I'm really hoping he sticks around.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Cordell, that Lauren Alaina could be a strong contender. She's young, she's got the country fan base, she's musical, so not all singers can dance, and she's not a dance-heavy performer. But she could have the moves, certainly, like Jonna Kramer did just a couple of seasons ago. I look at some of the older, celebrities on this list, and I feel bad kind of ruling them out just offhand. But it's such a physical show. It's such a stamina-driven show, and we have not seen anyone over 52 win, and that was Donny Osmond like 10 years ago. So it feels like it's just going to be an uphill battle, but maybe Mary Wilson could do it. She feels more like one of the Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan types, who is really beloved and really, it's an honor to have her there. Yes. But if she's going to dance to a Supreme song, she better do it in week 1 or 2. I feel bad too. Like they should just do like a season of Dancing with the Stars that's just all older contestants so that they're on a level playing field at least. They'd have to cut down on the rifts, but and I'm also thinking about Christy Brinkley with that, and so I really want to see an older contestant break through. Break the mold in that way, that we haven't seen yet. It just seemed like I remember a few seasons ago, Mary Lou Henner, she had Derek Hough. And that seemed like, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be her with Derek Hough. And even that didn't work out. So I'm really rooting for the older celebrities. I just hope it's not kind of like a foregone conclusion that they're going to be, the first, second, and third to go.
Mary Wilson could make it to like week 5 or 6 because I think Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight placed after were eliminated 5th or 6th week. And there's just a few contestants where I'm like, I just don't see them making it far, like Lamar Odom.
Yeah, basketball players haven't done well, and I don't have I don't have any sense that he would do any differently.
Or that he would really embrace the show, because just based on the cast announcement, they're asking, oh, who'll be down to wear sparkles and things like that, and he was just like, no. So I'm like, you're giving me Master P vibes that you're not really going to embrace the show, and
Billy D. Williams.
You know,
he tried.
He did. Bless his heart. He just
he only fell out because he was injured.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, someone who is on the older end of this cast spectrum, but I think could go pretty far because of personality, is Kate Flannery from The Office.
I was about to say that.
I'm not saying that she's exactly who her Office character was, who is, just the wild child of that cast. But she strikes me as someone who, she strikes me as a kind of the Bobby Bones of the season, potentially. Where she could be like, maybe she's not going to have all the moves down.
Yeah.
Maybe she will. Like, I have no reason to assume one way or the other. But even if she doesn't have the moves down, I can see her really embracing the spirit of the show and really going along with the fun of the ride and just putting her personality out on just like leaving it all on the dance floor in a way that's really great for the spirit of the show. I will give Bobby Bones credit for that. Like, he was so right for the spirit of the show. He would have been such a deserving 4th or 5th place contestant. It's only the fact that he won that makes it kind of cringy. So I'm looking forward to Kate Flannery. I hope she'll bring out the moves, but at the very least, I think she'll bring out the personality.
I think
Now there are 9. Or there are 12 members of this cast that we know of, celebrity members of this cast, but the list of confirmed pro dancers seems to add up differently. Talk about that a little bit, Cordell.
Yeah, so it looks like there are 14 confirmed professional dancers this season, and as you just mentioned, we know of 12 stars that are scheduled to appear this season. Rumor has it that Gronk, former Patriots player and NFL champion, and his girlfriend, her name is slipping my mind.
To the Googles.
Here we go.
Camille?
Yes, Camille.
We're very sorry, Camille.
I know.
Okay.
Where is she?
I feel like playing the Jeopardy music.
I know.
No,
I don't. That might be a copyright.
Camille Kostek.
Yes, there we go. Yes, his girlfriend.
Camille Kostek. So, if that's the case, I don't. I mean, maybe it's just his persona. Like, he has this kind of like big, muscly kind of, like he has this comical sort of dim bulb persona where people, it's sort of, a joke that he's muscular but dumb. And I don't assume that's entirely the case, but I'm not sure. I'm picturing him on the dance floor doing dance moves. And even though NFL players have a really good track record on the show, he might be the exception, not the rule. He's the kind of dancer who I could imagine a Lindsay Arnold unbuttoning his shirt and then dancing around him for a minute now.
Yes. Yeah. And if this is earlier seasons, I feel like he would probably be like middle of the pack. But after last year's results, I feel like he could actually win because aside from him, there isn't a star in terms of just that name recognition that you could pencil in and say they're in just based on their star power alone. And then with the history of football players, I think he would definitely be the one to beat or one of the few to beat. And then also with his girlfriend, if they do participate, they'll do that whole angle of them going against each other, and she'll probably just ride his coattails and get in the finals. And then know who she is, but clearly we couldn't think of her name, but
wouldn't that be something? A Camille Kostek, Rob Gronkowski, Sean Spicer finale.
Oh my God! I mean, I was thinking
put that in the universe.
oh God.
I was thinking that Camille and her boyfriend. Well, I was thinking maybe they're on standby to replace Sean Spicer if the backlash really comes to fruition.
You know, honestly, sign me up. I'm all for that.
Me too.
I'm like literally, you could not name us. Well, you probably could name a celebrity. I would less like to see than Sean Spicer. It's probably because they are also from the Trump administration. So, like, you know, if you said it's like, okay, we'll replace him with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I'm like, no, I'll keep Sean Spicer. You know, so Scaramucci, it's like, I'll stick with Sean Spicer.
Yeah.
On that lovely note, is there anything else you're hoping for this new 28th season to see? It's been a year since the show's been on. Cordell, what are you most hoping for?
Well, definitely I've read that they're trying to, add some spice to the show in terms of just new twists. So I'm hoping that they implement the dance-off that Strictly Come Dancing does with the bottom two vote getters. I think that would just be a way to kind of still keep the power in favor of the judges until like maybe top 5 or 6, and then it should just be a free-for-all based on the viewers' votes. But at least we can kind of weed out those Bobby Bones and Grocery Store Joe's dancers leading up.
Well, not Bobby Bones. He was never in a bottom 2. I guarantee it.
Clearly, and Grocery Store Joe too. So actually, I don't even think we need to have a dance-off because it doesn't matter because...
Well, it might save someone like Tinashe. Like, if someone like Tinashe falls to the bottom, like, shockingly, like, whoever she's up against, she'd win a dance-off.
True.
So I think if you kept the dance-off for a while, it's sort of like So You Think You Can Dance. The fans vote for, in the bottom 2, who the fans decided were the bottom 2 based on the votes. The judges decide which one of those bottom 2 stays and goes up until I think the top 6, and then it's America free for all. So I really think Dancing with the Stars needs to put some greater kind of veto power in the hands of the judges to right the ship if it goes off the rails like that again. To be like, it's like, sorry, America, you've been drinking. We're going to keep Tinashe and maybe eliminate Grocery Store Joe this week. I do hope that's something we see differently as well. I think it could reinvigorate the show. I'd like to see it because it's a maybe a do or die season because it went on hiatus for a whole year for the first time. Season, so its future may not be guaranteed. So I really hope it levels things out from what happened last year. What about you, Jeffrey? What do you hope for?
Well, I guess a more satisfying outcome for one. And it should definitely be interesting because they weren't. The one thing that wasn't announced regarding this season is who all the celebrities are going to be paired up with. We won't find that out until the season premiere. So it should be interesting to see not only who they're paired up with, but how they play off one another. And it should definitely be interesting to see, people. Well, I mean, it's always interesting to see people with different backgrounds competing for the Mirrorball Trophy. But yeah, there's also a good pair of people with, some backgrounds doing physical work, whether it be dancing like Christy Brinkley. I mean, she's been the Broadway production of Chicago, and I mean, I would not be surprised if she ends up performing a routine to Uptown Girl. And yeah, and of course, there's also people like Lamar, an athlete, and Kel, who's pretty much been doing physical comedy all his life. So, yeah, this should be a very interesting season.
Yeah, I agree. I too am looking forward to seeing who the pairings are because that's such a big deal. Not just because of the fan base of the pros, which is a factor, but also the chemistry.
Yes.
I mean, that goes a very long way. You know, a Jenna and an Adam Rippon, a Lindsay and a Jordan Fisher, like these dancers who really, as a pairing, Val and Lori Hernandez, you know, Max and Meryl Davis, of course. So it's really the interplay between the couple. Like, it needs to be a pairing that people really can get behind and root for, and are really seem to connect with each other. So I hope those are good pairings. I apologize to whoever is paired with Sean Spicer.
Who do you guys think it's going to be?
I have no idea.
I'm voting Emma. Sorry, Emma, but I think it's going to be Emma.
Oh, poor Emma.
I know.
I mean, maybe they'll pick someone who is not American so that their politics aren't, like, they're attached to the politics of it. That might actually be gracious for them to do that. So,
it's too bad a couple professional dancers aren't on this season.
Yeah. So with that, thank you, Jeffrey and Cordell, for joining me. Thank you to everyone for watching and listening. We will soon have Dancing with the Stars predictions up at goldderby.com. When we do, you will be able to predict who will win, who will be eliminated, who will get the highest scores, who will get the lowest scores, how many 10s the judges will give out at any given week, and all of that. And you can play that every week for as long as the season goes. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you when the season starts.